My favorite way, if you're gonna eat a whole lobster, is, you know, outside at a picnic table under the stars with pitchers of ice cold beer when you can get really into it. You know, I don't want to be getting messy in a restaurant. Like, screw that. I like to get down and dirty with it. So today we are going to be making lobster rolls, and we're going to be making a red cabbage slaw with it. We're gonna cook these guys in a pot of boiling water. We're gonna make this a really flavorful cooking liquid called a court bouillon. 1 lemon, a half a bottle of white wine, a whole bulb of garlic, 3 bay leaves, a whole lot of thyme, a pinch of crushed red pepper, a bunch of salt. And then we let it BTB and come together for a few minutes, right? We really wanna develop some nice flavors. So, while that is happening, I'm going to make my slaw. Now, I'm going to do what's called a chiffonade. When you have leafy things like this, and you stack up the leaves, and then you roll them up, and then it's long slices, so it kind of makes ribbons. Now, I'm gonna give this a big drink of malt vinegar. So that was probably about 1/3 of a bottle or so. And I'm going to give it a nice big sprinkle of salt. Now, as this softens, what's going to happen is you're gonna see a lot of liquid coming out of this. That's good, that's what we want to happen. Now, look what we've got going on here. Make sure your water is at a rolling boil. And when you put your lobster in the pot, commit to it, all right? Just put it in. You can put a lid back on there if you want, and set your timer for 15 minutes. So our slaw, you're going to grate a carrot. We're going to slice an onion. Just take the hairy end off, and look what you have. Nicely sliced onion. So every now and then though, guys, it's really important, like let's come over and give this guy a little bit of some attention. Just give him a stir to really redistribute all the vinegar, all the salt, to make sure that everyone is softening. And look, we can see a lot of water starting to come out already, right? I'm going to do 2 ribs of celery. We want to add a nice little crunch that adds to the experience, not take away from it. All right, the last knife cut I have to do, chives. And this is going to be for inside the roll. My lobsters are done. If you have smaller lobsters, go ahead and cook them a little bit less. So now, once my lobsters are cool, I need to take them out of the shell, rip the tail off. All right, we're gonna rip the claws off. So the big money items that we're working with here are the tails and the claws, all right? So the tails, I would recommend take like this. They wanna curl up. Take your shears, all right? Now, go right underneath, and you're just cutting the bottom of the shell open, and then we crack it open, and you can pull this big, fatty lobster tail right out of there. Now, the claws, let's start like this. Kind of whack it, all right? You wanna break it open, and then look what happens. You can wiggle the whole claw meat right out. All right, look at that. Now, I am going to dice up all my lobsters. All right, so I'm gonna get my lobster salad put together. Celery, lemon, a little bit of mayonnaise, but it is all about the lobster, so it's not like a crazy lobster salad. All right, I've got my chives. I'm gonna think about my slaw. Now, there's a lot of water going on in there. Let that water drain, push it out. This stuff in there, a couple of nice big tablespoons of mustard, because this is gonna be really zesty. And we're gonna then add the mayonnaise part to it. Get it all mixed around. Now, you don't have to drain your slaw, like you don't have to really squeeze it out. I like some of that liquid in there. And we're gonna add a little bit of celery salt in here as well. I like a celery salt. We have our lobster salad. We have our slaw. What are we missing for a lobster roll? We're missing the bread part, right? I'm gonna take a whole stick of butter. I'm gonna melt it. And then, so this is the kind of roll that you usually use for a lobster roll. So we see it's got like the sides that look like bread. And you wanna see this kind of like, it's almost like, you know how the outside of a grilled cheese looks? That's what we're kind of looking for on these guys. Ooh, that's what we're looking for right there. All right, now we have these beautiful, like nice buttery, toasted on the outside rolls, but they're still really nice and fluffy and soft on the inside, okay? Now we're gonna just fill up these guys. They're beautiful lobster salad. Full, if you get some crud on the top, go back and get it off. All right, what do you think, ladies? Does that look like summertime on a plate?